Hello, this is Mike Lively from Northern Kentucky University, and today we're going to discuss my book that's coming out in April. And let's take a look at Chapter 1, Getting Started in Papervision 3D. Now, with the book outline, we have the introduction, and in Chapter 1, we start with 3D graphics, shapes and objects, rendering, hidden surface drawing, painter's algorithm, Z-buffering, culling, and clipping, and portals in Papervision. Then we move on to a very important topic, structure of OOP. You've got to understand the class structure. Writing a class, extending a class, creating methods, public and private, and custom properties. We start you from base zero, show you how to write a custom class, discuss what a class is, and then we build a Papervision class. We formulate it, and we talk about the viewport, camera, scene, and renderer. Then we show you how to run that class. We discuss the document class in Flash, class paths. I'll show you how to run in FlexBuilder as well, and then we add motion. After that, we discuss using coordinates, the Flash coordinates, Papervision coordinates, the spheres coordinates, and right and left coordinates. So there's quite a few coordinate systems in Papervision, and you need to work with all of them. Then we talk about base view. Base view is a wrapper class for the camera, scene, and renderer. We actually build a rotating plane with it and talk about certain concepts that arise in using it. Super, stage. We show how to put on materials, the on-render tick, and discuss the important concept of normals. Finally, we talk about Flex and Flash and the display list, the sprite class, and add and remove child commands. Display list is essential to understand in understanding Papervision, and we go into a little bit of detail here and continue through the book, and then there's a summary. And so that's Chapter 1. We're actually going to go now and take a look at the applications we built, and I'm going to discuss those to some point in this tutorial. So in the book, we demonstrate two examples, an undulating sphere, and we developed that custom class. And you actually download that from Google Code. Go to code.google.com/p/flexbook3cookbook1 download/list. Let's go and take a look at that right now. So here I am on Google Code, so just download the base code motion zip, and in that zip you have everything you need, including the Papervision classes, to make it run. So just click on the FLA and control a test and it'll run. Okay, so we're back here. Also, I do a rotating plane using base view. That is not being distributed, but when you buy the book you can get the code for free, no doubt. Let's go ahead and take a look at those examples right now. Here's the undulating sphere example, and it basically is great code. You can start with this and just about build anything. I've built out the Papervision class, and we're just showing you how it can be done with a sphere with a wire mesh. So let's take a look at the next piece of code that's developed in the book. So in this example, we have a rotating plane, and what you want to notice is that when it gets to 180, it disappears. Now it's still there, but you're not looking at the normals anymore, and we discuss in the book about what a normal is and how it's important, and how actually it change this effect as well. So that's the second piece of code, and that will come out with the book, but the first piece of code is exactly what you need, so go ahead and download it. We're going to go right to the text now and discuss a few important topics, and then we'll be done with this tutorial. So we're in Chapter 1 of the book right here, and we pretty much just start from the basics. Papervision is not difficult, but the difficulty is knowing where to start. And we start at ground zero on everything and build up from scratch. We talk about 3D graphics and the painter's algorithm, and then we go and show you how to build classes. You know, if you don't know anything about classes, hey, it's a great place to start because we start from ground zero and build a full Papervision class, the undulating sphere that you saw earlier. And then we go on and we work with base view as well. There's just a few topics I'd like to discuss before we move on today. Once you get done with, the basics of getting Papervision working, it's all OOP. It's just real good web programming. So we do spend some time in this book doing good web programming, showing you how to build great sites and using those solid Flash player OOP principles. We're looking at the animation package that we built in the book for the undulating sphere, and you can see we have the import classes, we have the basic constructor classes. All this is discussed and detailed in the book. Let me go up a little bit. We have the initiation function, the create object function, the create renderer, and then we have all the code that builds that out. And so this is a nice basic class, and from this you can build a lot more. This shows you how the math works in Papervision, and believe me, you're going to be using a lot of math, but we're going to start from scratch. Don't be scared if you're afraid of math, because we're going to explain it all to you. Here we have the renderer frame, but also remember you can use the timer as well to throttle your application. We're going to show you how to do that in Papervision. So that's the class. I previously showed you where to download it from the web. Go ahead and download it, play around with it, and we'll be releasing a lot more code with this book. But there's a lot of code that you'll have to buy the book to get as well. One more thing I'd really want to discuss that's very important, of course, is the difference between Flash and Flex. Of course, this book does treat both Flash and Flex, And there's some difficulties here because the component bases are not the same, the compilers are not the same. So writing a book that does both Flash and Flex is complicated, but actually really interesting. And so we'll write base classes that can be exchanged between Flash and Flex as far as we can go. The first part of the book is based on Flash, and the second part is on Flex, and then toward the end we get Flash and Flex working together. Really important, once again, is the concept of display list and how that works. Hey, if you want to really get good at Papervision, make sure you understand that class. Hey, well, that's the book. At least chapter 1, and we'll try to release a chapter every week for you to take a look at. It's Mike Lively from Northern Kentucky University.